Hi, Wagwan. Welcome back to the channel. And if this is your first time here, welcome to Drifter Compass. This is the place where we explore the untold stories of Jamaica, the history you don't always hear about, and the stories that give you a deeper, different perspective on the island and its people. In today's video, we're diving into another powerful chapter of Jamaica's past, one that helps us better understand where we came from and how it shaped the world around us. So sit back, stay curious, and let's take this journey together. And if you enjoy content like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Now, let's get into it.
In the middle of the Caribbean Sea, there is a rock, a small volcanic outcrop called Jamaica. It is barely 146 miles long. It has no oil, no vast gold mines, no massive military. And yet, it is the lowest island on Earth. If you were to walk into a high-end nightclub in Tokyo, a black party in the burned-out South Bronx of the 70s, or a shantytown in Lagos today, you would hear its soul. How did a tiny island, populated by the descendants of people stolen from their homes and stripped of their names, become the primary architect of modern sound? How did it invent the remix, the DJ, the rap? This isn't just about catchy songs, it is about sonic agency. It is the history of a people who were told they were nothing, creating a sound that became everything. From the spiritual drums of the Blue Mountains to the digital grit of the Kingston ghettos, this is the Jamaican music Odyssey.
To understand the music, you must understand the fear of the colonizer. When the British held Jamaica, they were terrified of the African drum. They didn't see an instrument, they saw a weapon. A drum was a long-distance telegraph that could coordinate a revolution across mountain peaks. So they banned it. But you cannot kill a rhythm. It went underground into the Kumina and Nyahbinghi traditions. In the secret clearings of the Maroons, the drum became the heartbeat. This is the one drop. Unlike European music, which emphasizes the one, Jamaican music drops the beat on the three. It mimics the resting human heart. It is a rhythm of patience and resistance. By the 1940s, this heartbeat collided with European folk to create mento. Imagine a band sitting under a mango tree. They have a banjo, a guitar, and a rumba box, a giant wooden crate you sit on while plucking metal tongues to create a deep thumping bass. Mento was the social newspaper. Before the internet, if a politician was corrupt or a landlord was greedy, the community didn't write a letter, they wrote a Mento song. It was the first time Jamaica used melody to laugh back at its oppressors.
August 6, 1962. The Union Jack comes down, the black, green, and gold goes up. Jamaica is finally free. The nation needed a sound that moved as fast as its new hopes. They took American R&B and jazz, which they heard on high-powered radio stations from New Orleans and Miami, and they Jamaicanized it. They flipped the beat. Instead of boom-chak, it became chak-boom. The offbeat was born. They called it ska. The heroes of this era were the Alpha Boys. These were orphans and wayward kids trained by strict Catholic nuns at the Alpha Boys School. These kids were given high-level classical and jazz training. When they graduated, they took those horns to the streets and formed the Skatalites, creating a wall of brass that sounded like a jet engine taking off. But then, in 1966, a legendary heat wave hit Kingston. It was too hot to dance to the frantic pace of ska. The music slowed down, the horns faded, and Rocksteady was born.
This is the era of the rude boy. For the first time, the singer wasn't the star. The bass guitar became the lead character. The groove became heavy. By the late 60s, the music moved from the dancehall to the temple. The Rastafari movement, once marginalized, became the island's conscience. Rocksteady evolved into reggae, a word some say comes from reggae, meaning ragged clothes, the music of the people. Then came Bob Marley. Bob wasn't just a singer, he was a political bridge. In 1978, during a bloody civil war in Kingston, Marley stood on stage at the One Love Peace concert. He called the two rival political leaders who were literally arming gangs to kill each other onto the stage. He forced them to shake hands. In that moment, the music was more powerful than the government. But while Bob was the face, the sound system was the backbone. In Jamaica, you didn't need a radio station, you needed a set. Massive walls of speakers, some 12 feet high, powered by custom-built amplifiers. Selectors like Saxophone Dad and Duke Reed were the kings. This is where the clash began. Two sound systems, side by side, fighting for the crowd's roar. This competition forced DJs to start toasting and talking over the records to hype the crowd. Without the Jamaican sound system, there is no hip-hop.
We're halfway through the Odyssey, and the rhythm is only getting heavier. If you can feel the bass in this story, hit the like button and subscribe to keep the frequency alive. Drop a comment below. Which Jamaican era defines your playlist? Now, let's head into the laboratory where the world of sound changed forever.
Now we enter the laboratory. Meet King Tubby, an electronics repairman, and Lee Scratch Perry, a musical eccentric. One day, Tubby realized that if you stripped the vocals out of a song and left only the raw drum and bass, it sounded like a skeletal, ghost version of the track. He began adding echoes, delays, and thunderclaps. He invented dub. He turned the mixing board into an instrument. This was the invention of the remix. Every time a modern DJ drops the bass or uses an effect, they are using a language invented in a tiny concrete shack in Waterhouse, Kingston. In this laboratory, the women were also rewriting the rules. Marcia Griffiths, the queen of reggae, showed the world that a woman's voice could lead a revolution. Sister Nancy recorded Bam Bam, a song so powerful it has been sampled by everyone from Kanye West to Lauryn Hill, proving the warrior queen spirit was alive in the booth.
"1985. A young man named King Jammy finds a preset rhythm on a $100 Casio keyboard. He calls it the Sling Ting. It was the death of the live band and the birth of dancehall. It was raw, digital, and unapologetic. It reflected the grit of the 80s and 90s. Shabba Ranks, Buju Banton, and Beenie Man became international superstars. Now look at the world map. Hip-hop, born when a Jamaican immigrant named DJ Kool Herc took Jamaican sound system culture to the Bronx. Reggaeton, built entirely on the dembo drum pattern from Shabba Ranks. Afrobeats, the modern sound of Africa, is infused with Jamaican patois and rhythms. Jamaica didn't just make music, it made the template for the 21st century. So, the next time you feel the bass vibrate in your chest, remember where it came from. It came from a heartbeat. It came from a revolution. It came from a small rock in the sea that refused to be quiet. The heartbeat of the world
is Jamaican.
Jamaica proved that you don't need a massive budget or a giant country to change the world. You just need a frequency and a voice. If this story moved you, subscribe and join us as we uncover more untold histories of human rhythm. But before you go, do one thing. Comment below with the one Jamaican track that changed your life. Let's build the ultimate community playlist in the comments. Thanks for watching and keep the bass heavy.